The Patriots entered the 2017 season as the defending Super Bowl champions, and many wondered whether New England could go undefeated this season. That talk was quickly put to rest after the Chiefs went into Foxborough last Thursday and left with a 4,227 victory behind a record performance from rookie running back Kareem Hunt. The Chiefs lost safety Eric Berry for the season with an Achilles injury, but were the most impressive team in Week 1. At the other end of the spectrum, the Bengals were the only team to get shut out on opening weekend, and the Colts looked abysmal with starting quarterback Andrew Luck still not fully healed from off-season shoulder surgery. With Week 1 in the books, here are Omnisports Week 2 NFL Power Rankings. 1. Kansas City Chiefs 10. The Chiefs won the AFC West last season and were already considered a contender in the division as well. They served notice in Week 1 that they are a legitimate Super Bowl contender as well, though the Berry injury will hurt. They face the Eagles in their home opener on Sunday. 2. Green Bay Packers 10. The Packers' defensive front dominated the Seahawks' offensive line in a 179 victory at Lambeau Field. Next up for the Packers is a trip to Atlanta, where the Falcons shredded the Packers' defense in last season's NFC Championship game. It's a huge test for the Packers' defense, but if they pass, Green Bay can take early control of the NFC. 3. Oakland Raiders 10. The Titans are the favorites to win the AFC South, and the Raiders went into Tennessee and left with a convincing victory. Oakland has a balanced defense as Marshawn Lynch returned to his beast mode ways. The Raiders should roll Sunday against the hapless Jets. 4. Denver Broncos 10. The Broncos' defense was great for the better part of Monday's 2,421 win over the Chargers. Trevor Siemian was also impressive, accounting for all 3 touchdowns. The Broncos will stay home again this week to welcome the Cowboys on Sunday. 5. Philadelphia Eagles 10. Carson Wentz looked great against the Redskins as the Eagles appear to be a true contenders in the NFC East. Going into Arrowhead Stadium will be a huge challenge. 6. Dallas Cowboys 10. Sure, Odell Beckham Jr. was out for the Giants, but the Cowboys' defense was still outstanding in holding the Giants to just 3 points. The Cowboys' offense, led by quarterback Dak Prescott and Ezekiel Elliott, was superb last season, and, if the Dallas defense can match the offense's play, the Cowboys could make a deep playoff run. 7. Atlanta Falcons 10. The Falcons had to hold off the Bears in Chicago, but there will be plenty of excitement Sunday as they welcome the Packers in the home opener at brand new Mercedes-Benz Stadium. 8. Detroit Lions 10. Matthew Stafford was up to his magical ways against the Cardinals. After leading 8 comeback wins last season, Stafford again brought the Lions back to beat the Cardinals. It's not realistic to think Stafford can be clutch like that every week, and the Lions would like to jump on the Giants early Monday night. 9. Baltimore Ravens 10. The Ravens were the only team to score a shutout with a 200 win over the Bengals. They'll try to do it again this weekend against the Browns. 10. Pittsburgh Steelers 10. The Steelers maybe got more than they bargained for against the Browns, but still left Cleveland with a victory. They'll have to be better this week against the visiting Vikings. 11. New England Patriots 0-1. The Patriots were stunned by the Chiefs, but always seem to bounce back following a loss. That could mean a big game for Bill Belichick's group Sunday in New Orleans. 12. Minnesota Vikings 10. Sam Bradford was sharp and Stephon Diggs and Dalvin Cook were dynamic in Monday's win over the Saints. The Vikings' defense was again stout and will again need to play well against a talented Steelers offense. 13. Los Angeles Rams 10. At WASNT surprising the Rams beat the luckless Colts, but the 469 margin of victory was an eye-opener. The Rams' defense scored 3 times, and they should get Pro Bowl defensive tackle Aaron Donald back this week against the Redskins as new head coach Sean McVay faces his old team. 14. Carolina Panthers 10. The Panthers rolled to an easy win against the hapless 49ers and should move to 20 against the Bills. It will be an emotional week for the Carolina players and coaches, facing off against former defensive coordinator Sean McDermott, who is now the Bills' coach. 15. Jacksonville Jaguars 10. The Jaguars were not only a surprise winner last Sunday, but the Jacksonville defense was a disruptive force against the Texans with 10 sacks and 4 turnovers. If they beat the Titans this week, they'd move to 20 in the division, and all those Blake Bortles jokes might start to go away. 16. Tampa Bay Buccaneers 0-0. The Bucs are expected to contend for the NFC South, and, after having their opener in Miami washed out by Hurricane Irma, the Bucs will look to open the season in a big way against the Bears. 17. Buffalo Bills 10. The Bills got a win over the Jets, but the Panthers present a whole new set of challenges with former MVP quarterback Cam Newton and dangerous defense. McDermott knows his old team well and will have to find some wrinkles to pull off the upset in Charlotte. 18. Tennessee Titans 0-1. The Titans might be facing a must-win already this week against the Jaguars. It's a game the Titans should win, but falling 2-2 would put the favorites in the AFC South in a big hole. 19. Miami Dolphins 0-0. Jay Cutler will make his delayed Dolphins debut against the Chargers as the Dolphins begin a long road trip that has them in Los Angeles, New York and London before returning back to hurricane-ravaged Miami next month. 20. Seattle Seahawks 0-1. Seattle's offensive line is a mess and will have to perform much better if the Seahawks are going to live up to expectations. They all look to turn things around Sunday against the 49ers. 21. Los Angeles Chargers 0-1. The Chargers nearly completed a comeback against the Broncos, but a 247 deficit was too much. The Bolts will make their regular season debut at StubHub Center in Carson as the new LA Chargers and can't afford to fall behind early against what will be a motivated Dolphins squad. 22. Arizona Cardinals 0-1. The Cardinals could be in trouble after squandering a lead in Detroit and losing dynamic running back David Johnson with a wrist injury. The good news for the Cardinals is they get the Colts this weekend. 23. Washington Redskins 0-1. The Redskins had just 64 rushing yards against the Eagles, and yards on the ground won't be easy to come by this weekend against the Rams' defense. Washington's secondary can't fall asleep like it did against the Eagles because the young Rams receivers will make them pay. 24. Chicago Bears 0-1. The Bears hung with the defending NFC champions, but the Falcons proved to be too much. Rookie Tarik Cohen was spectacular and definitely gave the Bucs something to plan for this week. 25. Cleveland Browns 0-1. Maybe the Browns aren't as bad as many thought. They went toe-to-toe with the Steelers and DeShone Kizer played well in a losing effort. Getting their first win seems unlikely this week, however, against the Ravens. 26. Houston Texans 0-1. The Texans have several question marks on offense, but first and foremost is who will play quarterback. Tom Savage wasn't able to do much behind a porous offensive line, and rookie Deshaun Watson is expected to get the start Thursday against the Bengals. 27. New York Giants 0-1. Eli Manning struggled without his top receiver and the Giants still can't run the ball. It doesn't matter how improved the Giants' defense is if it's on the field the entire game. The Giants will have to try to find some semblance of a running game to keep Stafford and the Lions' offense off the field. 28. New Orleans Saints 0-1. Adrian Peterson's Saints debut did not go so well, rushing for just 18 yards on 6 carries against his former team. He also had a brief sideline spat with head coach Sean Payton, and the Saints could be looking at a dysfunctional season if they can't establish the running game with Peterson, rookie Alvin Kamara and Mark Ingram. A win probably isn't on the horizon this week with the Patriots coming to town. 29. San Francisco 49ers 0-1. The 49ers could not get much going against the Panthers, and it won't get any easier this weekend against the Seahawks. It's going to be a rough season for first-year head coach Kyle Shanahan. 30. New York Jets 0-1. The long season began for the Jets with a 2,112 loss to the Bills. The Jets were held to just 11 first downs and 214 total yards, with just 38 yards on the ground. That will not be nearly enough against the high-powered Raiders. 31. Cincinnati Bengals 0-1. The Bengals have way too much offensive talent to get shut out, but that's exactly what the Ravens did to them last weekend. The Bengals have to get something going Thursday against the Texans, and Marvin Lewis' seat is going to get even hotter. 32. Indianapolis Colts 0-1. We don't know how good the Rams are, but we do know the Colts are terrible without luck. It won't get much easier this week against the visiting Cardinals.